Every day, your body produces new cells. And every day, your body loses cells. The old ones die off. From the moment of conception to your birth and early age, your body produces more cells than it loses. This is the growing process. Between the ages of 28 and 33, your body begins to lose more cells than it can produce. This is the aging process. Now, fortunately for us, the aging process takes a hell of a lot longer than the growing process. The question is, what triggers the aging process in the first place? Could it be coding within our DNA that tells the body when to stop growing? Because think about it. What would you become if your body continues to produce more cells than it loses? I want you to think this through. What happens if the number of new cells your body creates is always greater than the number of cells your body loses? Well, we have examples of this in nature. Trees do this. And there are animals that do this as well. Certain reptiles, such as alligators, crocodiles, turtles, snakes. These things will just keep growing if they are allowed to, folks. The domesticated versions of these animals, of course, under our care, have a limited lifespan. But the ones out there in the wild can grow to monstrous sizes. So, instead of us growing into giants, the body stops the growth process. Now, it would be nice if the body would reach a certain age and just balance itself out so that you no longer grow or age. But it does not, and we all age. There are, however, ways to slow this process down and even reverse it to some extent. One of these methods involves using a powerful nutrient that is constantly overlooked by many, and that is Deer Antler Velvet. HGH, or human growth hormone, is produced by the pituitary gland throughout a person's lifetime. The production of HGH increases from birth up until you get into your 20s. Then it levels off and begins to decrease going into your 30s, keeping in mind that HGH levels vary from person to person. Also, males and females produce different levels of HGH. So, if we want to, how do we increase our body's levels of HGH? And what are the benefits of doing this? Well, I'm going to share with you what I know and what I have experienced increasing my own HGH levels. So let me take you through some steps. First, you're going to have to cleanse, starting with the colon. Some people are walking around with over 20 pounds of crap in their stomach. You need to flush your kidneys, liver, gallbladder. You need to increase your healthy gut flora and get rid of candida. So basically, you have to do a complete renovation of your digestive system. This is not a short process, folks. All that cleansing should take a good 2 months, considering you need to give your body a break between cleanses. The good news is, you don't have to wait till the cleansing process is over to start boosting your HGH. And this is how you do it. First, anything that is synthetic HGH, it is toxic, and it should not be used, ever. No pituitary growth hormone, nothing. It's crap. The creams that they sell are also garbage. As for injections, the synthetic type will benefit you short term and definitely damage you long term. It's too expensive, and it's really only good for recovering from major surgery. Besides, it has to be administered by a doctor. And from what I understand, it is illegal for you to be sitting in your home shooting yourself up with HGH. There is a form of injection that uses a protein extracted from the placenta of sheep. It is a far better option. However, the procedure for administering this effectively is very lengthy and extremely expensive. So folks, just stay away from all that stuff. Here's how you do it naturally. Number 1, exercise. And when I say exercise, I mean high-intensity training. You need to sweat for a good 30 minutes. And the best time to do this is when you first wake up. When you do this, your body is going to produce HGH to prepare your body for the recovery. Understand that 2 to 3 days a week of high-intensity training, resistance training, is enough. Don't overdo it. You will get more benefit from this than a bodybuilder lifting twice a day, 6 days a week, and you will become stronger in the end. Second, nutrition. You need to start eating more raw food. It should be the majority of what you eat. Also know that eating lots of sugar is going to increase insulin production, which will lower your HGH production. When it comes to eating, if you really want to boost your HGH, you eat early in the day with intermittent fasting. In other words, if you start eating at 10 a.m., you would stop eating around 2 p.m. and then fast for the next 20 hours. This is a very healthy practice. It's much easier than fasting for days at a time, and it will dramatically boost your body's HGH production. Also, if you eat too close to bedtime, it's going to ruin everything. You need to have a good 2 to 4 hours of not eating before you sleep. Otherwise, your body is going to produce all this insulin and not enough HGH to have any benefit. Speaking of sleep, none of this stuff works unless you sleep deeply. If you want to boost your HGH, you can't be up late night. Ideally, you want to get to bed 9, 10 o'clock the latest. Because of your body's circadian rhythms, the best time for your body to heal and replenish while you sleep is between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. So make sure you are sleeping before that time frame for the best results. The amount of time you need to sleep is determined by the amount of exercise you get and how healthy you are. Healthier individuals don't need to sleep as much, but 6.5 to 8.5 hours is pretty standard. This time is, however, decreased when you start using nutritional supplements that boost your body's HGH production, such as melatonin. And this is where Deer Antler Velvet comes in. Now, every year, a buck will grow antlers, and every year, they fall off. These antlers grow rapidly and are one of the fastest growing types of animal tissue. And when these antlers really start growing, they can grow around a ½ inch per day. A deer can grow out its antlers in about 4 months. So how do these antlers grow so fast? Well, on the surface of the antlers is a very fine hair-like skin called velvet. Aside from the deer's diet, this is what supplements the growth of the antlers. Now, right before the antlers fall off on their own, they are removed. This does not hurt the deer, by the way, and the velvet is harvested. And it is then processed into a liquid or dry powdered form. The dry powdered form or pill form of this is beneficial to a limited degree, as your body will destroy a good amount of the nutrients in your stomach's hydrochloric acid bath. You want to take this stuff sublingually, meaning holding it under your tongue so that it is absorbed into the bloodstream, bypassing the digestion of the stomach. You can use the dry powder to do this, but a liquid form of this is better, either using an eyedropper or spray. There are several companies that manufacture and distribute this stuff, and I say you do your research on the companies you buy from and utilize as many different sources as possible. In other words, where do these deer live that the antler velvet comes from? Because depending on where these deer live, the nutrient quality of the antler velvet is determined by how healthy the deer is and their diet. Location is key. Once you get your hands on some real, handled with care, fresh antler velvet, take it. You will begin to notice the changes after the very first night. Understand that this is not HGH. Deer Antler Velvet is just a nutrient that stimulates your body's own production of HGH, which is then filtered through the liver to become IGF-1, This is why your liver needs to be cleansed and functioning at its best. As for the benefits, the very first thing you will notice is that you can sleep, and sleep good. You will notice that you can fall asleep when you want to sleep, and when you wake up, you can jump right up and not have to take 30 minutes to get out of the bed. You will also notice that you do not have to sleep as long because the nutrients in the antler velvet help to replenish the neurotransmitters in the brain while you sleep, and you will wake up feeling refreshed. This is an increase in stamina. You will also be able to think more clearly, and you will be mentally sharper. If you use this stuff regularly, then you will start to see an increase in muscle mass and definition along with a loss of fat. This will also increase your bone density and overall strength. Deer Antler Velvet will balance the hormones. It will increase metabolism, improve hand-eye coordination, improve memory, mood, and other brain functions. It also helps the cells to last much longer, causing wrinkles to smooth out and disappear. It will also help to grow or regrow healthier hair and nails. And this is the point, that the cells last longer and produce more cells that last longer, essentially slowing down or reversing the aging process. You can't stop yourself from getting older, but you can slow down the death of your cells and live a much longer, healthier existence. This is just one small, tiny thing that you can do to improve your quality of life, folks. It is real. It works. I use this myself. You want to get the best out of life, and the way you do this is by treating yourself well, by feeding your body what it needs, mentally and physically. Whether you choose to dismiss this information or utilize it, understand that learning new ways to take care of your body, knowing this stuff, knowledge, is the true key in continuing the growing process.